Ulonka tabati yada to ye kuma daifa. Ino to ye ko je love vipa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Zongo eshu, ogun oya osun. Kini sheshe, tan she nile yo. O jelo jara.
Alafia, peace and power, family. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, Arisha Bemi, and we are back, tribe. After a short break, man, we back to getting these good live streams in, back to making this thing do what it do and be what it be out here in these Ase streets. And so, first and foremost, before we get into it, family, I want to give a shout out to all the new channel subscribers, all the new Patreon members, all the new channel members. Shout out to everybody for all the love and support, family. We definitely got a lot in store for this week to get this thing cracking and to hit it with full speed, man. Pedal to the metal. We're about to make it do what it do. So before I get into tonight's presentation, I'll be flying solo tonight, but I got some good stuff for y'all. I want to kind of give y'all a little backstory, man. It's been a lot of divine alignment, and so much so that even like with the numbers, the numerology, seeing the angel numbers, like a lot of the different numbers, 222 been hitting me a lot. I'm talking about like a lot. I think it hit me like twice today, and then hit me on Friday, I think 555. So it's a lot of different synchronicities and a lot of different very, very powerful spiritual anomalies, to say the least, right? So shout out to everybody who's into the Ifa Shay community. Shout out to all of my practitioners who observed the World Ifa Day over the past weekend. Brand new powerful Odu for the year, which that's definitely something that we're going to get into tonight in regards to the message and the presentation of what we'll be speaking of. But to just really get right into it, man, this weekend was pretty interesting. So I was having a conversation, I want to say it was Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. And it was amazing, like the alignment on even how the conversation began. Like, so it began just regular, talk, but then somehow the topic of, and I think it might have been me, I think I asked the question of, do you believe in mermaids, right? And so the lady I was talking to, she was like, yeah. She was like, I do. Actually, it's crazy that you say that, because I was just having a conversation with my friend earlier about, mermaids. We was just talking about that. Like, why would you even ask me about that? And it was funny to me because I was just listening to my spirit. Like, it was just something that kind of came, to me like, yo, ask her if she thinks, what she think about mermaids, if she thinks mermaids are real or whatever. So, so this is Saturday. So I'm like, okay. So I asked. So she was like, yeah, I was just talking about this with one of my friends. So it's crazy that you asked me that after I just had this conversation today. So, I kind of laughed it off. I didn't really think much to it. So we did get to talking about mermaids, right? So in the process of talking about mermaids, somehow the topic of the mothers came up. And I think it might have been like with me, the reason why, I feel the way I feel in regards to the mothers and the divine feminine and all that, based upon, the way I was raised and based upon my personal, relationship, with the divine feminine. But it was like, for me, I just always have looked at the woman, the divine feminine, in a different light above men per se, because of the creative aspect, the ability to be able to create life and bring life forth, through the womb. That alone, is saying something to me, right? Because you can show me every man on the planet, not one man on this planet can create another man or woman, for that being said, right? And so, but the woman was creating, herself and her daughters long before men were on the planet. So just that within itself, you go deep into deep scientific research, women, they used to be asexual. And so that's how men kind of came about. So long story short, we got into talking about the mothers, and we started talking about the Iyami. We started talking about Ajay. And so for me, I kind of like was having downloads within the conversation, because I started thinking, I'm like, damn, you know what? I never thought about it this way. But when I think about those two aspects of the mothers, the Ajay and the Iyami, to me, it's almost like a Gemini in a sense, because, Geminis, got two sides, right? But I was thinking, because if you look at these two particular, I feel like lanes of, or avenues in which these two different dynamics kind of come into play with the Ajay and the Iyami. I'm like, the Ajay, they're about wealth, they're about abundance, they're about prosperity, like they come from the waters, the depths of the ocean, Imoja, and Olokun. So it's like all that deep depth of force and power, you know what I mean? And the ability to go deep, and to really tap into the depths of, the ocean, or the depths of mystery, the Awo, the mystery school, right? The mystery. So, and I was like, when you think about the Iyami, Now you're talking about the whole another level. Now you're talking about the most powerful, what I've heard and some would have told me, and including Wunam for that matter, powerful forces in the universe, if not the most. And so it's like they're very powerful. You don't play with them. People call them witches. I don't subscribe to that notion or what have you whatsoever. But they are very powerful forces. So long story short, we was on that conversation about the mothers, about mermaids, about the Yami. And so the next day, which was Sunday, and what's amazing to me, we were supposed to have this show yesterday, actually, but a lot of stuff went down and kind of threw it off. So I really, really wanted to have it yesterday because of the divine alignment and all the different things that we're going to talk about. But I realized after the fact, it wasn't meant for me to have it yesterday because some new developments that took place after I had already prepared my presentation for yesterday's show. So it was meant to happen today. And I'm going to say, I always believe in, things don't happen when we want them to, they happen when they're supposed to. So with that being said, Sunday, I get somehow going online, I get a video that crossed my timeline. So I don't know if how many of y'all seen the tribe, but if you've seen this, let me know your thoughts on it because we're going to go deep into the significance of not only this video, but then after this video, I found out what the world Odu was, which is Osameji, which is the Odu of Oya, Yansa, and the mothers. So very, very powerful divine alignment just from that alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this little clip from the video trial for y'all to see it for a couple minutes, and then y'all let me know what y'all think about it when we come back. So it's only like 2 minutes, but I'm gonna share it so y'all can watch it on the screen, and then I'll come back. And then if you can, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me, and throw some tornadoes in the chat, throw some nines in the chat, some lightning bolts, because we're bringing that divine feminine energy in this thing tonight. It's June 9th, and we're talking about the 9th Odu. We're talking about the number 9 with Yansa. So yeah, we got a lot of nines in the in the atmosphere, and a lot of transformation, a lot of power. So with that, family, check this out. After I was just having this conversation about mermaids.
Do I show what the ring is, or look, it's shallow. It deep. She's maybe at her ankles. She's far out there. But she's by herself. It's not very small. Well, I mean, they must know this water. Do you know? Jeremy, you don't know the water. You don't know. She's standing up. She's in like the lower grade on the coast. Jeremy, is she coming back yet? That was really, really low. It might be the hole. I'll go see the Jeremy, somebody tell me it's a mermaid. Just wait a minute. What is it? Do you see this too? What does she have? Does she have her hand? A dead fish? Did she go under? Jerry, she's gone. Jeremy. Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. That was the weirdest thing in the world. Jeremy, I'm videotaping this. No, don't walk in front of my camera.
Now, listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Man, listen. So with that, tribe, and I see all y'all coming up in this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for coming in and joining us tonight. I know I done changed the doggone time a couple times on y'all, so my sincerest, gratitude for y'all being patient for us getting this thing happening. But man, listen. So I don't know how many of y'all, because we got a lot of people that just came in the room into the chat, but I don't know how many of y'all heard what I said before I shared that video. So I was talking about the mothers and talking about mermaids and talking about the IJ, talking about the Iyami, talking about Imoja, talking about Olokun on Saturday night. On Sunday, that video crosses my timeline. I see the video online on social media. So I had to I don't know if I downloaded it or whatever, but I had to get that. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I was just talking about this. The people who were recording that video said that a woman came up to them. It was a couple, and asked them, did they want her to take a picture of them for them? And they was like, nah, we're good. No thanks. No, we appreciate it, whatever. So then that was, you saw the tail end of that in the video where the woman just turned around and walked into the water. The woman Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me now, family? Hopefully y'all can hear me now. That's weird. That's weird. Definitely don't feel like that was no coincidence because the mic, y'all heard the mic. Okay, appreciate you. Appreciate you, honestly, love. So y'all heard the mic the whole time. The mic was working perfectly fine. It's plugged in. I ain't running around with the mic. The mic just stopped working, boy. Somebody don't want this message to get out to y'all, boy. For real, for real. Well, somebody don't want this to get out. So anywho, we're going to get back to the story I had. So the lady came up to this couple randomly and asked them, did they want her to take a picture of them for her or for them? And the people, the couple was like, nah. And that was the lady you heard talking in the background, because there's other videos online that's longer where it's more context to it. But so long story short, the lady then turns around and walks into the water and just disappears, like literally disappears into the ocean, into the water. And if you listen to the video at the end, you can hear the lady's voice. It don't sound like no cap, no, you know what I'm saying, like she was playing or, you know, none of that. Like I heard, to me, it sounded like she was concerned, like, yo, this, like, Jeremy, this lady just disappeared. Yo, she's gone. Like, where is she at? Like, she gone. So it was crazy. So I say all that to say, first thing that came to my mind was like Emo Ja. Like, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? But and then I'm seeing people in the comments on the video saying that it was a mermaid, seeing people saying that it was a siren and this and that, da. I don't believe it was a siren. Sirens are not known to be polite. They're known to be like vicious, ferocious. Like they normally be eating people and stuff. Like sirens are very yeah, they bought their life. And so I don't really think that just didn't strike me as an encounter as with a siren. You know, it seemed like it would have been more like a mermaid. But anyway, so I want to get y'all, you know, opinion and perspective on it before we go forward in the presentation tonight. What y'all think? Do y'all think that was real? Do y'all think that was a mermaid? Do y'all think that was a shapeshifter? Do you think it was a incarnation of Emo Ja? Do you think it was, you know what I'm saying, like one of the water dated, Mami Wata? You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a very, very surreal, you know, thing to see, especially when I'm talking about, I was just talking about it the night before. I'm talking about literally the night before, which was nuts. And then I saw it. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So that's when I'm like, okay, I got to do a live. I got to, you know what I'm saying, talk about this and chop it up with the tribe about it, because I feel like there's a lot of powerful, not only alignment, but synchronization with, you know what I'm saying, what we're seeing and what just took place with that woman walking into the water. I'm going to share it again before we get out of here. So I say all that to say, after that, I was like, yo, that's crazy how that happened. Then I find out what the Odu of the year is. The Odu of the year this year is Osa Meiji. So for those who are into the Ifa, Isheshe, Yoruba tradition, you know what the Odu of the year is, you know what the Odu is, all that. For those who aren't, or who just learned, you're brand new. So it's pretty much the Odu of what the entire year of 2026 going into 2027 is going to fall under. So there's 256 major Odu, 16 major Odu, 240 minor Odu. So the Odu of the year is like, all of them matter, but that one is going to be honored and reverenced throughout the year more so because that was the one that fell for this particular timeline for the year. So with that being said, very powerful, very, very powerful, volatile Odu, and it's based upon, Ye Oya, Yansa, first and foremost, who is the deity of transformation, the deity of the winds, the deity of, like removal, the deity of renewal, the deity, Can you hear me now, family? You hear me? Boy, listen. That's like the third time that happened. I don't remember ever having no problems with my mic before. Not like that, if ever. Okay, appreciate y'all, family. Like, it's definitely some attempted disruption going on to stop me from getting this stream done tonight. I'm not sure what that's about, but we're gonna keep it pushing, family. We're gonna keep on pushing through. I appreciate y'all with the patience. They ain't gonna hold this message down. This thing is definitely gonna get delivered, especially when it's coming from and about the divine feminine. So with that, now that y'all can hear me, yeah, Emperor of Truth. I'm not sure what the significance of her taking the picture was. That's what I said. It's a very deep occurrence, man. Very, very deep, especially in these divine times, like in what's going on. So, and let me share, because I said that the Wunam, and shout out to Wunam. We're gonna matter of fact, she just texted me just now. We're gonna be locked in Friday. We're gonna lock in Friday night. So that show we're gonna be doing the past life like divination messages of past lives. She's gonna be divining and giving messages about past lives. So y'all definitely want to tap in and chop it up with us for that one on Friday night, family. I'll be posting the link soon. But I sent her that video and she was like, wow. She was like, yeah, she definitely was connected, and she's bringing food to the water guys. And she was like, what she's picking up is that she's also protected from the water guys. So for those of you who are on this stream, y'all know, when me and Wunam chopping it up, we always talk about the water deities. We always talk about the mermaids. We always talk about, the feminine aspects of the water beings, because she comes from Cape Verde, where they have a lot of stories and a lot of history, with water beings. So this is a real thing, family. So I say all that to say that was very powerful how that all unfolded, from the conversation about mermaids on Saturday night, then having that video cross my timeline on Sunday, sometime through the day Sunday. And then I think I found out the Odu of the year was either Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday I found out what it was by the time I got it from the Babas that I rock with and connected to in Nigeria. So it was just profound, man, as far as the alignment. So as far as the Love of Chanel, I'm not sure. I wouldn't think it was a siren though, because sirens, as far as my research takes me, sirens are very hostile. They ain't nothing about them friendly. Like sirens, they come to murk. Like they'll eat you. They do whatever. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything positive about sirens. And if I'm wrong, y'all drop, enlighten me. You know what I mean? But from what I gather, sirens are usually on the aggressive, negative, side of the frequency, of the energy frequency field. So I would imagine it was a mermaid or some sort of water deity or some sort of emissary, some sort of messenger from the water world. But whoever it was, like they definitely did some miraculous things, man. They walked right into the ocean and just kind of like out of there and didn't come back. And the lady on the other videos that's longer, she was like, she recorded, I think, like another 5-6 minutes after she walked into the water and disappeared. and just never, never came back. So nowhere to be found. So it was crazy. So I say all that to say I definitely want to share that with y'all, and then also kind of time travel back to some of the conversations that we've had on, some of the previous shows. And I don't know if y'all remember how many of y'all are on here now that might have been on that stream when we was talking about the birds that flew over the White House. Now, shout out to, I think it was Mama Teresa who shared some more details and information about that when that happened. So now this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was when Wunam was on the last time she was on the show, right? We were talking about the mothers, and I was telling her, you know what, speaking of the mothers, did you see when all them birds flew over the White House? And she was like, nah, but her and her husband looked it up, and they sent me a picture for me to share it on here. So I shared it on the screen, and then we shared it with y'all with the tribe. So what's crazy about that is, and I'm going to have to share some clips of that video with her predicting this, but she said a bunch of stuff was about to happen at the White House. Like when she saw this video, she tapped in the spirit. She was like, yo, there's some stuff about to go down at the White House. I'll be damned if I don't even think it was a week later, literally maybe less than a week, when the first dude that got, I guess they was having that dinner or whatever, the dude got tackled to the ground for, I guess, allegedly trying to attempt to take Agent Orange's life or what have you, something like that, right? So that happened. But then not too long after that, there was shootings at the White House. Then not too long after that, somebody I think actually got either shot or murdered at the White House. So it's like she had already saw that a lot of this was going down, or that a lot of it was about to happen. And so she kind of predicted it on the show. So I'm about to share that just so we can kind of really like show receipts with timelines on how these things been unfolding. So with that, when we talk about this message that just came through with the Odu, with the Osai Meiji and the mothers, like this right here was a strong sign to me, like the mothers ain't playing. And we talked about that on the episode. Like I said, I'm just going to clip that back so y'all can see it, what we went into. And as far as where I'm going to go with the rest of it, I'm going to share one more video before we go into the conversation that I want to have with y'all tonight, tribe. And this one is dedicated specifically to the Odu of Osai Meiji and Yeye Yansa Oya. Yeah. So yeah, nature ain't playing, man. Nature is not playing. Like it's not playing. The mother's not playing. And we've been talking about this for a long time. I think some people think it's a game. Some people think, we exaggerate. Some people call us conspiracy theorists, things of that nature, whatever you want to call it. But there are people who are tapped in on another level and several different levels that have the ability to do some very powerful things. And, and so now with that being said, with that woman walking into the water the way she did, absolutely not. Shout out to T-Bogs. What's up? What's good with your family? Shout out to Vanessa Sanders, 2403. I don't believe she drowned. Absolutely not. I don't believe she drowned. The way it looked to me as if she walked into the water, and it's almost like, to me, like a toddler when, if you come home, if you got children or you got loved ones, that got, small people, and like you've been gone for a while, or you've been out of town or whatever, you come home and the toddler or the baby run up to you and just kind of dive into you, you pick them up and embrace them and all that. I feel like that's literally what the ocean did with her. I felt like she walked into the water, and I feel like the ocean just kind of opened up like, hey, what's up? Well, hey, she back, y'all. Come on, hey. And whoosh, it just brought her up in there. And if you look at Black Panther Part 2 in the water world, when I think his name was Namor, they show a lot of stuff that's really real. Like they showed a lot of stuff that's really real in regards to, the underwater kingdom. So, and there's a lot of different, a lot of different places where there's life on this planet that does not get, accessed by the humanoids. It doesn't. We don't have access. Certain people don't have access to get to certain realms or certain caverns or certain, elements of the planet. And the ocean is definitely one of the most, I feel like, protected ones when it comes to not allowing a certain amount of chaos and BS, to go down in the water. So I don't feel like she drowned, family. Y'all let me know, in the chat. Let me know what y'all think, if you think she drowned or if you think she made it or not. But back to that video I just showed with that tornado forming. That one literally was, I think, yesterday. I think that was yesterday that happened, right? So I'm looking at all this. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So you got the woman walking into the water. You got earthquakes that happen, and which is nuts is because when I did my research for yesterday's show, I had already saw that there was a major earthquake in the Philippines. I don't know if y'all saw that. I think it was like 7.8 or something crazy on the Richter scale. Crazy earthquake, right? I'll be damned if we didn't have an earthquake They said it was in Cuba, but I talked to several people today in Florida that felt the earthquake that so-called hit Cuba. So now you got earthquakes on the East Coast. You got earthquakes on the other side of the planet in the Philippines. You know, all this is happening. Then you got these volcanoes erupting all over the place. So Mother Earth ain't playing, man. She ain't playing at all. So it's like, yo. And then when you talk about the Odu of the year being Osa Meiji, like I said, it's very, very powerful with the divine alignment and the things that are going on. I appreciate you, Chloe. Y'all throw them tornadoes in the chat, man. Them tornadoes, lightning bolts, mermaids, because that's where we're going tonight. We're definitely going to go into a lot of these things that are taking place with the elements of nature. And shout out to Brother Bidell. He'll be here tomorrow for the next edition of the War Report. Shout out to Wunam. She'll be here Friday for our next get together when we're going to get tapping deep with spirit and we'll talk about past lives and give on-air live divinations like we be doing sometimes around these Ase streets. Appreciate y'all, family. But yeah, Vanessa, so you must have been on that chat when she talked about it, because, yeah, she definitely said some things was going to go down. Kendra the Water says, or Kendra Attaway 2217 said, any aspects of Aquaman, the movie, real? Watch that Sunday. Yes, I definitely, yeah. I don't know if you saw the video I shared. I'll probably share it again before we get out of here, but yeah, definitely. And in the video, right, this one, I don't believe you can hear them say it, but in another version I saw, they said that the woman was carrying 2 dead fish, right? But to me, it didn't strike me as she was carrying 2 dead fish. I'll probably play it again for y'all real quick so you can see it. To me, if you can see her carrying anything, I didn't think it was dead fish. To me, I felt as if she might have had some sort of like, almost like gills or some sort of like, you know, I don't know, some sort of water related, you know what I mean? Like attributes, you know, characteristics on her body. That's what I was thinking. But, you know, and so when I guess when she walked up to them on the shore, she clearly probably wasn't showing whatever was under her arms. But, you know, she could have had fish. Wunam said that she felt like she was feeding, you know, the water guys. That's what she picked up from spirit. So, you know, very interesting to say the least, family. Very, very, very interesting to say the least. So then after that, I saw this one. And I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to do any thorough research to see if this was accurate or if it was cap or, you know, AI. But I saw this too, and I felt like it still was in alignment with what all is going on with this divine feminine energy. This one was supposed to be over Dubai, and I guess like the skies was like real red, and it was a lot of birds, kind of like they was flying over the White House. I guess there was a lot of birds that was flying over Dubai. And I believe this was what's today? Today's Tuesday. I think this was yesterday too, if I'm not mistaken, where I found this one. As far as that, so if anybody, if y'all could pull up and get any credible sources saying, you know, that there was red skies with a swarm of black birds flying around in Dubai. Like I said, that I feel like that just ties right into, you know, all the things that we're talking about tonight, all the things that we've been talking about. So yeah, with that, family, yeah, it's a lot going down. It's a lot going down, a whole lot. And so, you know, when we think about, just to get back into the Odu, right, and to get back into like how I feel like all this is divine, how it's all aligning with what's happening in the world, right? So when we look at Oya, and for anybody who's seen X-Men, right, if you've seen X-Men, the character Storm, that's Oya. Like all these different Marvel movies, all the different I forgot the opponent to Marvel, but the ones that make Guardian of the Galaxies and X-Men, and you know, all these different types of movies, the Hulk, all that, Spider-Man, they take real life people that actually lived, and then they take that and they transform it and transpose it to make it look like them, and then put, you know what I'm saying, these characters into these books and into these movies and all that. So when you talk about that movie X-Men and you talk about the character of Storm, that really is a direct theft, you know what I'm saying, highway robbery, stolen legacy from Oya. Like that character is Oya. So you think about like how she has the ability to create the storms, the lightning, you know what I'm saying, like all that. That's what we see right now happening in the planet. Metaphorically speaking, we're seeing that unfold right now before our very eyes, right? You got the Okay, can y'all hear me now, family? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Yeah, see, this is getting on my nerves right here, man, because I really wanted to go in with y'all with this presentation, but I know it's a pain in the balls to be dealing with all this foolishness with this sound. Okay, cool. Appreciate you, family. But yeah, so I was saying to go back to how all these different anomalies are happening, right, with the planet, or like the lady walking into the water, all these different things that are taking place. It all falls into divine alignment, metaphorically speaking, as to what the message of the year was, right? Because you talk about the earth is shaking, you talk about the weather shifting, you're talking about the wars, you're talking about the governments, the files, the UAPs, the Epsteins, the markets are collapsing, unstable. Yeah is the goddess of the marketplace. You know what I mean? Like, so when she come through, things move. You feel me? So it's like, whether it's in nature or whether it's in the market or whether it's in the destruction in order to make way for the construction. Like, it's like she coming through, knocking everything over. So for that Odu to fall the same day that I'm sitting there having a conversation about mermaids and about the IJ and the EI. Okay, mic check 1 2. Can y'all hear me, family? This is crazy. Wow. All right, what about now? Like, I'm not gonna be able to use my mic. Hopefully, at least my internal mic is working. Can you hear me now? Y'all hear me now? Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to use my mic now. I don't know what that's about, but so I'm definitely trying to get me not to get this presentation, y'all. So anyway, back to the message at hand. All these things are related to the transformations that the globe is going through right now. Like I said, the earth shaking, the earthquaking, the weather, the UFOs, the UAPs, the markets crashing, the wars. You know what I'm saying? People are anxious. People are like, on edge. People ready to knock everything the hell over. Like, all that's going down simultaneously. And let's not forget, we're a big ancestor house here in our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always give honor and reverence to the ancestors. We always, salute and just hold the ancestors in the highest regards, because without them, there is no us. And so with that Odu also is a very powerful ancestral Odu, because like I said in the beginning, Oya is the deity that's connected directly to the ancestors. So, we've been talking about this. If y'all been a member of the tribe for at least a year or so, we've been talking about this, because last year was a 9-year. And I remember me and Baba Carey had a couple different podcasts where we spoke about Oya, and about, the Osai Meiji Odu, and about the transformation, the symbolism of the number 9 and the power that it holds, and all these different things that are tied directly to what we're talking about now. So for last year to be a 9-year, right? And then now this year is a quote unquote 10-year. When you talk about 2026, you had to do the math. It comes up to 10. Last year was 9. But now the 9 comes right back. Divine Feminine 9 comes right back in the 10-year to pretty much state her claim as the Odu of the year. So yeah, we got some powerful things taking place, family. So, and when we look at how all this, ties into what's really happening, we're looking at the movement of transformation. We also are transforming and going from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age. You know what I mean? Like, so the water age. We just saw a video of the sister walking into the water. So yeah, it's powerful, man. It's powerful, very powerful. So it's like right now, with all this happening, it's a time to really tap into spirit. It's a time to really tap into, your Ori, to tap into your mind's eye, to tap into, the understanding, overstanding, understanding, understanding of who and what you are, what you came here to do, and what, you're going to do with what the time and the opportunity that you have, while we're here. Like, because you're talking about, it was a major earthquake in the Philippines, I think 7.8 on the Richter scale, right? There was the earthquake in Cuba that people felt all over here in Florida. Then you got that crazy tropical storm in I think Mexico, Tropical Storm Boris in Mexico, over there murking stuff up. So it's like the storm metaphor, like, and the way it's manifesting is just undeniable. It really is. And then you also have, like I said, the war. They talking about peace, but yet they still shooting missiles. So all that, it's all tied into what this whole message and this whole theme is about. And so if we look deeper into it, when you talk about the wind, you talk about the storms, you talk about the death, the enemies, and the divine feminine, it's all conducive to leading up to some sort of major change or some sort of major shift. That's taking place on the planet right now. And I feel like most of y'all out there, I'm sure y'all feel it. I'm sure you feel how the time is speeding up. It's like you look around, and I swear I turn around, it's like 20 minutes gone. I just walk from one room to the next. You know what I'm saying? I mess around and get into a little bit of work, and it's like 3 hours on. I'm like, yo, how did 3 hours go by that fast? You know what I mean? So it's crazy, like how things, how things are moving, and like how fast things are going, and like what all is taking place. Like it's a real thing. Divine Guide 444. Nature is response. Yeah. That's facts. That's big facts. Absolutely. Big fox. Big fox, big man. Yeah, big facts for real. But yeah, the ancestors are definitely present, man. Because I definitely been chopping it up with mine, and they've been coming through as they always do, boy. They not playing. They are not playing, and they showing me, boy. One of my favorite lines, man. I can show you better than I can tell you. They showing me for real. So Tribe, I see we done doubled up on the amount of people here, man. If you're just getting there, please hit that like, share, subscribe button so we can break the algorithm and get this message out to as many people as possible. And yeah, so I say all that to say, man, it's a very powerful time, to focus on shift and transformation, especially if you are somebody who might be going through anything like with changing jobs, or maybe in the process of starting a new job, or looking for a new career, or starting a new business. If you are in any of those stages in your life, now's the time to really tap into connecting with your ancestors, but also so say some prayers up to your way out. You know what I mean? Or say some prayers to the mothers, because like I say, they are the holders of wealth. Like they are the ones who give the blessings of E-Ray, who give the blessings of Owo, of money, of cash, you know what I'm saying, of flow, of abundance, of, like the river, like Ye Oshun. So very powerful, very powerful, I feel like, symbolism, alignment, metaphorical allegories that's taking place all across the planet. So we definitely got a lot going on, family. And then we talk about this AI thing. They got, like I said, they trying to make Siri, I guess now she probably about to be damn near like the little I forgot the name of that chip that Elon trying to put in people. I sound like Apple. They got some plans to be trying to do something similar like that with Siri. Some of the reports that I saw, some of the research that I did for this show. So now is definitely a time for us to be observing nature, observing our behavior, observing repetition. Like I was saying earlier, like the numbers been hitting me heavy, like 222s and 555s been definitely like almost nonstop. And it's amazing, especially when I looked up the symbolism with the 222, very powerful ancestral message. That's another one that's very ancestral, heavily influenced, by the ancestors. So it's a lot going on, man, that I feel like we definitely got to, take heed and kind of look at how these things correlate to us, right? So I was just telling somebody, I think like 2 days ago, like when I divine for people, every time I've ever divined with somebody, I feel like, yeah, I'm giving them a powerful message, but I feel like sometimes, or if not all the times, some of that message got something to do with me too, because there's always something or some sort of relatable message that comes from the oracle that goes to the client every single time. And I feel like this is something that as a globe, as a world, as a planet, as a culture, as a community, as a tribe, I feel like what's happening right now, we can look at all these things unfold and take that as a metaphor to kind of see, okay, what is this telling me, from the outside? What is going on out there in the world that I can kind of look at how that applies to what's happening in the inside, what's happening in my world, right? And so the way that, you can look at that, think about it like, as far as like with the earthquake, right? That's something that happens suddenly. So it happened, I think, in the southern Philippines. Yeah, it was 7.8 on the Richter scale. And so it caused deaths, it caused casualties, it caused injuries, buildings collapsed, power disrupted, tsunami warnings, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff went down. So if we look at that metaphorically, what is that, how do we look at that when it comes to our life? Because that could definitely mean something like spiritually. Like spiritually, that could mean, okay, what's up with my foundation? Like, is my foundation strong? Is my foundation, secure? Is my foundation, you know what I mean? Is it the way it needs to be right now for me to build, for me to elevate, for me to grow, for me to, to go up? Like, is it stable? Is my mental health stable? Shout out to, matter of fact, I got to share that flyer too. Shout out to Zimmy Locks. We got the Kingsmen event coming up June 20th in Tampa, family. I'll be sharing the link in the flyer for that. So if you're in the Central Florida area, we definitely got the Kingsmen event going on. For the brothers, where the theme in the event is about relax, recalibrate, and release. Relax, recalibrate, and release. So, especially with all the stuff going on, still in the news too, with the brothers being murdered, the young brothers, I've seen that. A couple of them that, that's going down, the same old bullshit. But you know, it's definitely a way for us, I feel like, to tap into spirit right now and tap into what's happening with the planet and grounding. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in, connecting with nature, hugging trees, putting your feet in the sand and in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like connecting with the planet, because she definitely is turned up and she's ready to make some things happen. So you know, when we think about the earth quaking, are things going on below the surface in our lives? You know what I mean? Are things going on below the surface in our relationships? Are things going on below the surface in our environments, in our, you know what I'm saying, our workplace or whatever? Like those are all things that I feel like spirit or the planet herself is kind of like sending messages through, you know, all these different things unfolding. And so I always try to look at it and paint the picture as to, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? Like what lesson is in this situation at this moment, you know, for me to get something out of. So let me see, Emperor True. Everything is up right now. So historical and spiritual combined. We won't recognize the world we've been living in anymore by 2030, 35. Nothing will be the same. Yeah, that's facts, bro. That's facts. And you know, and you know, they put so much of this stuff in the movies, it's not even funny. It's actually sick if you look back at a lot of the different movies that kind of predicted and was telling us about all this different stuff going on. And to leave the world behind is definitely that was definitely a sign. Like that definitely was for them to kind of like play in our face, you know, instead of what they're doing. Like straight up, that's how I look at it. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing and what y'all gonna do. But y'all gonna see. Y'all seeing it now, boy, because the planet herself and the mothers ain't playing, so they're gonna show you exactly what they're gonna do. And then our brother, let me see, shout out to brother Roderick Williams. He said, what about how we're feeling through this season, the heat, the humidity, and just being aware of how things are flowing and in its own way? Yeah, you know, that's a great comment and great question, bro. Especially in the summertime. I feel like, and this is something I'm gonna share with y'all, tribe, and we will definitely be getting our private calls going this week for sure. Like I said, it's been a lot that I've been building on the back end. It took a lot longer than I anticipated, but I'm excited about it because it's going to give me the opportunity to deliver a lot more, and I really can't wait. And I'm not really going to get too far into it because I'd rather y'all just see, because that way you're going to know, like, okay, yeah, that's what he was talking about. But we got a lot more coming, and the channel has made its transformation to grow into delivering a lot more content and a lot, I feel like a lot more impactful way for a lot of people, because the ancestors, like I said, they speak heavy through me, and there's certain different types of content that I've been pretty much told that I need to create, and especially about the things that's going on around the world, and then how to paint a picture with it, and then give, you know, ancestral, you know what I mean, like breakdown or ancestral take or explanation of what's happening, you know. And shout out to all the guests that we've had, because I get a lot of feedback from people who watch the channel, man, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. I always tell y'all I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, man, because without y'all, you know, there is no Ashe. But it's like, that's what people tell me they love the most. It's like, yo, your guests are powerful. Like, your guests are dope. Like I learned so much, and like so many things I used to wonder about or think about, like they just break it down so easy where I could, you know, I could just, it resonates, like it sinks in, like where a lot of times other type of teachers or other types of presenters or whatever, speakers, like they talk in a way that's above, you know what I'm saying, like kind of goes over our heads. But like with them, the people you be having on there, like, man, we get it, I get it. So it's like, it's dope. But I say all that to say, bro, with the heat and then just the way things are flowing, I would definitely, I'm not sure if you meditate, but I would definitely like looking to start doing meditations and also visualizations. Yeah, and one of the things I get from people about meditating is about how hard it is to quiet the mind, or how hard it is to be able to kind of like tap in and to get into that meditative state. But when you think about it, nothing is easy. Like it wasn't easy to learn how to ride a bicycle, you know, to learn how to ride it with balancing without the training wheel. So my advice would always give people, just try, you know, and be consistent with it, because it definitely wasn't easy for me. And I came from, I felt the same way. I'm like, what? It's a waste of time. What the hell am I just sitting here being quiet for? Like, it don't make no sense to me. But then when I started messing around and like really tapping in and really started having like very powerful experiences, and then astral projecting and, you know what I'm saying, flying around the universe like Superman, like when I started having them kind of experiences, going into, I don't even know what dimension I was in. And shout out to Millie. I remember one of the sessions I had with her, man, I'll never forget it. I think she said it was the I was in the room with the Galactic Federation, if I'm not mistaken, who she said they were, but it was powerful. I'll never forget that experience. So I say all that to say, just practice, you know, practice, be focused, you know, be dedicated, and just put in the time, because when you do it, the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. And then once you get to a certain point, everybody's on a different timeline, different time frame. But it will get easier and it will start to work to where I feel like that's what helps me a lot, meditation. Okay, he said I meditate. I meditate into smooth jazz and other tranquil. Okay, yeah, look, you're already doing it, bro. Like I would do that a lot because that's what helps me to like not let people get me to want to take it there. And people will they'll try to get you to take it there. They really will. But it's like, we got too much going on that, we got to be here to do the right thing. Practice Iwa and the laws of Ma'at, man, to let negative energy or, parasitical frequencies to entertain or get involved. And shout out to some of the tribe. Tribe member last week actually was like, yo, don't even pay that madness no mind, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep building, the network and keep it funky, man. Don't even pay that energy no mind, which that's real. But yeah, man, I would meditate and then spend time in nature. Spend time in nature if you can't get by the water, the forest, anywhere that has a really, I would say, grounded but connected, ability for like you to connect with the planet. Because right now where we're seeing the planet elevating in its frequency. We got all these solar flares still coming in. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, family. And then we didn't even get into the extraterrestrial stuff, which I'll probably do that one. I'm not sure what day, but I got a whole dope presentation that I'm gonna put together for y'all with the extraterrestrial stuff, because I've shared crafts that I've seen myself on the channel a few times, but the one I got that I'm gonna put together for y'all is gonna be dope, because they got this movie Disclosure Day coming out, I think on the 12th, and so of course they put stuff in the movies, that they're kind of predicting the psyop that they're doing in real life in the movies, and so I want to kind of do something that kind of is our version, the Ase version of Disclosure Day, to show the real deal, because a lot of these shows, they never have melanated people on, especially like, when it comes to the extraterrestrial phenomena. Like it seems like we're always excluded out of that group, whenever they have those types of conventions, all that type of stuff going on. Shout out to, I think Forbidden Knowledge is like one of the very few people that I've seen in or on any of these mainstream extraterrestrial platforms or shows, anything of that nature. But in all honesty, the reason they don't want us to be in it, because they don't want us to know how powerfully connected we are. We am them, to a lot of the different types of extraterrestrials and ultra-terrestrials that they have to release now. And they're not doing that because they want to, family. And first of all, they're not like releasing the real stuff. They're releasing fluff. And they're not doing that because they want to. They're doing it because they have to. Because there are beings that's like, okay, either you going to tell them or we're going to show up and they're going to see. Which one you want to do it? You want to kind of have a little bit of time for you to, whatever you want to do to let them know what it is, or we're just going to pop out and show ninjas. You know what I mean? And they did that in the Miami event. Like that, we've had several events that happen like that. And a lot of them don't make the media. They don't make mainstream. And that's on purpose, I know that's right, Divine God. But yeah, shout out to Stardust. I see y'all, family, in the chat. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, and then on top of that too, who was that? This is so powerful, man, because I was just having this conversation, I think, over the weekend or last week about like not giving up, because every single time, and I know y'all have heard me, for those who've been in the tribe for a minute, say this before, but every single time I've ever tried to accomplish anything, it was always some sort of attempted blockages, roadblocks, sabotage, hurdles, potholes, walls, you name it. Always tried to like get in the way to stop me from doing or making the attempt to do whatever it was I was trying to do. Everything from the first book I ever wrote, the second book, the third book, the first podcast, second podcast, this podcast, the first business, second business, third business, everything I ever tried to do, something always tried to ratchet some shit up. So I say all that to say that for me, being wired the way I'm wired, I always look at it as competition. Like, and I'm one of the people, when I get mad, that's when I really turn up, you know what I'm saying? And really start to make shit happen, like really moving stuff, because it's like, I'm gonna show you. I promise you, I'm gonna show you. I'd rather show you, actually. I don't really want to talk. I'll show you and just get to it. You know what I mean? And that inspires me. It motivates me, because if I got breath, I'm going to give it everything I got to win. And you're not going to stop me. You know what I mean? Because I know I came here to win, and I'm not going to let any adversity slow me down from doing that. So it's like, whenever we take on that approach and whenever we take on that mentality, that mindset, we can't be stopped. Because really, what they say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. You are right either way. So that's real. So that's how I've always approached when it comes to dealing with challenges. And I feel like collectively, you're not in this alone, family. Like no matter what you're going through, no matter what's going on in life right now that's trying to ratchet things up, you're not alone. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other people that's probably going through the same thing or worse. And that's one of the things, whenever I do have challenging moments and days that's going crazy, I'll unplug and think about, damn, you know what? Yeah, it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world who would love to trade, places with me based upon the BS that I'm fighting through versus the BS they fighting through. I just saw a sister I used to work with, man, at Transition. I think her service is coming up whatever the 10th is. I think tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So it's like life is too short, family. It's too short for us to be, tripping on things that we can't control or things that, it's not necessarily in our control that we really could do something about. So it's like, just keep it pushing, don't quit. Whatever it is you're trying to do, make it a plan, you know what I'm saying? Take action and make it do what it do. Real talk. I love it in nature every day. Yeah, that's real, man. Nature is definitely the place. That's the elixir, man. That's the healer. That's where we're going and connect with the planet. I always think about Avatar. Whenever I think about connecting with nature, like if y'all remember Avatar, when they would take their tails and connect to the tree, like the tree of life, or like they would connect with those white, I can't remember what they were like, those white like light bugs or whatever it was that would kind of fall down in the sky and all that. Y'all know that was about us too. I feel like that was about Haiti, but that's a whole other show. With the I think it's uranium or whatever it is, the very powerful element that they have over there, that they went over there and like ratcheted stuff up to try to steal. But I really feel like that movie was based off of the power on the island of Haiti. So yeah, definitely on purpose, family. Definitely always. Yeah. And then the trees, yeah, that's facts, right? Big facts, man. Big facts. Yeah, we're gonna be here Friday too, matter of fact, family. So she'll definitely be here Friday for us to run this thing back. And then shout out to my West Coast family over there, man. I see. Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg movie on. Yeah, Insight on the Inside. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because and Vidal and several other guests, I'm sure I've spoken on this. Dr. Valentine, which I need to highlight him so I can get him back out here too. But they spoke about they have a budget. The CIA literally has a budget for Hollywood that they allocate for, creating these movies and to put that information out there. So that's a real thing. Shout out to Jay McDonald. I appreciate you, family. It's funny. I was just talking to some of my Sacktown West Coast tribe this weekend, man. We're trying to put some things together out there on y'all side. So y'all stay tuned for that. We're definitely trying to put some of these Ase events out there in the West Coast in the near future. So I definitely will keep y'all abreast as we kind of can get everything laid out, man, and get it all set up and all that good stuff. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there with y'all on the West Side, Sacktown in the building. And I definitely appreciate you. We love you too. Yeah, man. So that's where we at, family. And then we got a couple other things bubbling too. Like I said, it'll probably take me about another week or so before I'll be able to actually let y'all know. But I want to make sure that I get it all out there. But I'm working on putting together the in-person events because I know a lot of people have been reaching out telling me about that. So we're working on that. We got one that's bubbling, and I definitely y'all put that Ashe in the air, man, and say that it's gonna come and manifest because we got one that's bubbling around the end of the summer that I'm working on. I got a couple more that I'm working on too. So yeah, we definitely working to make these things happen. Matter of fact, shout out to Professor Kaba. He'll be back I think in about a week and a half. He'll be back soon too. I gotta check the dates. So I'll be having Baba Kaba back in this thing, man. Y'all already know what it's gonna be when he comes through. So yeah, we definitely got a lot bubbling, family. Got a lot bubbling. And then I'm not sure if she's on the call. I cannot remember her name. It's a sister. I think like the last 2 or 3 lives, she was asking about the courses. And like when the courses were gonna be coming. I definitely made a lot of headway this week when I took a little time off to get mine together. So mine will be launching very, very soon, family. Very soon. And I think I'm gonna do it in like 2 phases. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just create courses. So like once you join, you got it. You can work at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? They'll be there in modules. You hit them. You know what I'm saying? You do the learning that goes with it. You take the quiz or the test, the PDFs and all that will be in there. It's gonna be dope. So that one will be coming soon. And then also, I believe I'm gonna do probably like a semester, another training like a semester, probably like a 6-week program. Kind of like we did one similar like that a while back with Baba Karaday, the OGC Institute. It was cool. So I'm thinking about doing another one like that too, because some people prefer to be hands-on, working with people, even if it's virtual versus just like doing it solo. But then some people like to do stuff solo because, their schedules, or they just, want to be by themselves. So the way I'm a nerd, I like doing both. Like I can learn by myself, I can learn, with a group. Like it don't matter to me. Learning is learning. So I'm all for all of it. But I know everybody has a different learning style. So appreciate you, Melanie. 4267. Definitely appreciate you. Yes, sir. Maximum Rise, a new one. Which one? If you could share some more with me, because it's hard for me to keep up with all these comments, especially when I'm solo, because when I got guests, I can kind of read and chop it up with y'all while they're speaking, but when it's solo, it's harder for me to keep up. You said, did I see the new one? Let me know which one you're talking about, Maximum Horizons, please. Jay White, 6324. Feel like I'm powerless sometimes, just waiting on the next. Yeah. Nah, don't feel that way, family. Don't feel that way. I wonder if you're the one now having comments with on the show. I'm on the channel a while back. But nah, don't feel powerless. You got plenty of power, bro. You got as much power as you feel you got, as you say you got. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you like this: you're a child of the Creator. To me, period. Like, that don't make us the Creator, but that makes us a child of the Creator. Therefore, we have the Creator's aspects. So I feel like, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of power. Just that alone. It's like, how did you tap into it? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing to tap into it? And one of the first things I would say is look in the mirror and say, powerless. I got all the power. I got the juice. I got the power. Remember that song? I got the power. Y'all remember that song? Oh, yeah. I got the power. Yeah, bro. Hey, look in the mirror. I got the power. And mean it, though. Say it with authority. Say it, you know what I'm saying? Put your chest out. Say it with your chest. And, like, for real. Grab your nuts. Let your nuts hang. I got power. I got juice. I got it. I got the clout. Like, speak it. Because words are real, man. And hell, you really want to turn that thing on. Speak it over some water. Like, for real. Like, speak it over, like, I ain't got no little cup. I got my little Ase mug, but like you can pray over the water, like a bowl, pray over it. And then the way if you really want to turn that thing up, pour a little bit out to the ancestors, a little libation, pray over it, talk to it, and then take about 3 good swigs, man, and drink your prayers. Drink your, your affirmations, because water is the most powerful tool on the planet. You know what I mean? So it's like by you combining, your powerful tool, which is your mind, spirit, you know what I mean, and your Ashe. Speaking your Ashe and your affirmations, that's powerful. So that's an easy way, to shift that paradigm, man, for real. Maximum Ryan says they show you how to connect with the ancestral realm. Yeah, if you pay attention to it, there's quite a few movies that I feel like that they do that. Hell, Black Panther Part 1, they did that. With the sacred herb. You know what I mean? Like when T'Challa took the sacred herb, he was able to kind of go from one realm to the next, go from one dimension to the next, when he was able to go to the ancestral realm with his pops, I believe. So that's showing you right there. I haven't done any like the psychedelics, like the shrooms and all that stuff. I haven't tried it yet. I'm interested in it, and I was like studying up on it, reading up on it a little bit, because I had a couple guests on here before that has done it and that was into it. And it was very knowledgeable. Like I'm one of them people, I don't like to do stuff, especially when it comes to my body. Like I'm very particular about like what I'll do or what I'll take or whatever when it comes to my body, because especially anything that's foreign that can cause me to think differently, that can alter my ability to think. Like I don't really, I like to be sharp and clear, man. I don't really want to be in a space where I can't move. I need to move, man, because it's so funny. People ask me all the time why I move the way I move. I could be at home, but I just move a certain way. Like I could be in church, but I move a certain way. No matter where I'm at, I just move a certain way. And I've always been like that, because I got to keep my head on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff could pop off anywhere. It don't matter where you at. From the way I grew up, like it could pop off anywhere. So you got to be, on your P's and Q's, and you got to be sharp. You always got to be able to, just kind of find your way around the room and make sure you keep an eye on everybody and what they're doing, just so you know. And that's just how I roll. But I say all that to say that's why I haven't done that yet. I might do it, because I wouldn't mind. I remember when I first saw ayahuasca, I was very interested in it because of all the different, experiences that the people spoke of, why they were in that state, being able to connect with nature in a very distinct, deep level, a deep way is from what I hear. So yeah, that's That's that divine God said, right? Because yeah, that's facts. Big facts, big facts, big facts. Yeah, Stardust, the best is definitely yet to come. I want to share with y'all so bad, but like I said, I learned lessons about speaking too soon, or sharing things too soon, because there are monitoring spirits or monitoring low vibrational frequency energy out there that be trying to literally wake up every day to try to get people not to be successful or not to win. So I definitely I've learned that you got to kind of let things bubble up in the pot, and then just kind of let it bubble over and break out into the world. Let's see. Big facts. Don't ever give up. I know we got this. We are in the know. Humanitarian. Yes, sir. Shout out to Kabiesi, Shango, because Shango is a humanitarian. And matter of fact, this old dude of Osai Medi is Shango's very heavy in that too, because y'all know, with him and Oya, the super couple, the real Bonnie and Clyde. It's a very powerful message. Very powerful message, man. I appreciate you, divine guy. Yeah, you already know Jay McDonald for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Yeah, you know what? I gotta holler at Baba Patah, Maximum Horizons. I gotta holler at him, man. I ain't talked to him in a minute. Like I said, we all deal with things, Baba was dealing, last time I talked to him, he had a couple things he had to kind of knock down, take care of or whatever. So I'm one of them people, I definitely respect people's time. I respect people's space. Whenever, we all got things going on. We all have things, even like some of the few times that I took some time off, I had things I had to take care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, because one thing about me, family first over everything. So I got to make sure that things are going the way they're supposed to go for those who, and everybody matters to me, but my inner nucleus, like, I got to really make sure or do my best to, do what I got to do. So some of us have families that, we got to make sure that our family is straight before we can kind of take care of the community and the culture. And I respect it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna holler at Baba, man, because you already know what it is with him. And he definitely is a different, he's a different entity all within itself. with the amount of information that he holds and the way he can disseminate it, man. I remember the first time I interviewed, I was like, yeah, this dude different, bro. Like he different. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely holler at him and see what's good, man. Hopefully we can get him back in the building in the near future. But yeah, garden in the backyard. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we gotta do all that. And then, yes, the garden in the backyard, but we even gotta be, diligent and focused on how and where we're getting the seeds from. Because they ain't just contaminating, the food, they contaminating the soil, they're contaminating the air, they're contaminating the water, they damn sure contaminating the seeds. So it's like, hopefully, Jay, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think you've been doing that for a while. I know there's a couple of people that's in the tribe that have been doing the gardening thing for a while. So you might be one of them too. But yeah, hopefully you got a plug with the seeds. And if you do, if you can share it with me, man, because I definitely will share it with the tribe too. Because we need to definitely make sure we got some good, pure, untainted, unvaccinated seeds that we plant in order to create, this flow of food. Cats Williams, KW, my plus son equal me. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's facts. That's deep. Yeah, big facts. Big fox. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. But yeah, family, we got a lot of good things popping up, man. A lot of good things popping up. Infinite Supreme Mother, she said, looks like something swam around. Yeah, it did. It did look like that. It's like, to me, it's like the waves kind of like, to me, it's like they almost like opened up and like hugged her, like embraced her. I'm gonna play it again for the tribe who might have just got in, because I started the show, family. If you're just getting in not too long ago, we got more people now in the building. But we were talking about the anomalies in nature, but then I was sharing how I was having a conversation on Saturday night, and we were talking about mermaids. And then literally Sunday, I saw a video on social media with a sister, walking into the ocean and just disappearing, like just literally just walked into the ocean and just disappeared, like just submerged into the ocean. And there was a couple watching. I'll share the video again too, family, if we get out of here. But there was a couple watching it, and you can hear the lady sound like, yo, she sounds shook. Like towards the end, she's like, yo, Jeremy, she's gone. It's like, she's gone. Like, yo, she is gone. The lady that was just here asking us to take a picture of us walked into the water, and I've been recording her the whole time, and she's gone. So, and that goes back to the power of the mothers. Like, seriously, because there are real water kingdoms and water worlds. That's not a game. It's not, it's sci-fi. That's real. That's where they got it from. We all know about Atlantis, and Lemuria. These are real ancient civilizations. And when you talk about the water world, think about it. Like, every one of us who are on this call or who will watch this video if you're of humanoid, you know what I'm saying, nature, you got a belly button. My pops always told me if you got a belly button, you ain't perfect. But also, if you got a belly button, you came from a womb. You're a womb born. You came from the womb. You know what I mean? So it's like in that womb, in the 9 months, we were in water. You know what I mean? Like, what do we need the most to survive? We need it right here. We need water. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the fact that if people think that there aren't real beings that live in the water, hell, if you go on, I can't remember if it was Animal Kingdom or Animal Planet, something like that. There's societies and cultures like over there, I want to say in like Okinawa or somewhere over there, where they got people who don't even come on land. Like they live on boats and live in the water. They can swim underwater for like, I want to say something crazy like, I don't know if it's like 30 minutes at a time, 45 minutes, 20, it's something crazy. They can literally, they've adapted their lungs to be so strong that they can go underwater and hunt and be down there for, I mean, I think it might have been at least like 30 minutes. It's something crazy. It might be more or a little less, but either way, like they are able to do that. And then you think about when we come out of the, you know what I'm saying, out of the testicle, like what does the seed look like when it comes out of a testicle, the tadpole? Hell, damn man, you know, similar to the you know what I mean? Like it's a seaman. So they spell it C-E-M-E-N, but what if you change it and spelled it S-E, you know what I'm saying, A-M-A, you know, seaman, and then you got Superman, the S. Okay, well, what is the spinal cord? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, all this is science. So it's like, so I feel like if we are not able to grasp or at least be open to the possibility that there are beings or humanoid type beings or entities that live in the ocean, I think we're doing our minds a disservice. Because to me, that's the equivalent of like thinking that the universe is vast and infinite as it is. There's no other life form or intelligent life form out there. To me, it's just impossible, like for it not to be. You know what I mean? But yeah, that listen, you better let them know, Jay. Let them know, boy. That's a real thing. Drink them prayers, man. Drink them things. Matter of fact, shout out to Adinkra because Bunam's husband, he sent me a video. I gotta see if I can share that one. He literally sent me a video the other day too about that. It was about these dang, they were Middle Eastern. I can't remember what they might have been, like from Dubai or somewhere. I can't remember where they're from. But anyways, the video spoke about the significance of how you talk when you talk to whoever you talk to at dinner. And the whole moral to the story, long story short, was be careful how you talk when you're talking around water, because water holds that vibration. It holds that frequency. It holds the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is that you're speaking, even if it's not directly in your cup. Like if it ain't right here on your table, if it's in the room, it can pick up and absorb, right? So the video pretty much speaks about how generations of their family had money and was wealthy, but then generations, it went in like cycles where they would be broke or, you know, impoverished because they would lose the value and the significance of the family traditions and the family value of one of them just not talking negative around water, especially at family gatherings or dinner. You know what I mean? So it was powerful because, and it went deeper into, I can't remember exactly verbatim how it said, but it was a dope message. I like it. I gotta see if I can find it so I can share it. But but it speaks about the significance and how it could be, you know, it can affect you negatively. But shout out to Jay, and what we talking about is like, yo, when you talk them prayers into your water, it could be powerful. It will be powerful because you're talking to the most powerful conduit on the planet, bar none. You know what I mean? Water is the most powerful conduit. So even like when we start prayers, and no matter what tradition you're in, I feel like all traditions, water plays a role in it. Even if you're a Christian, your butt got baptized in the damn water. You feel me? Like you waded in the water. So it's like, it don't matter. Water is very powerful too, you know, very powerful. So it's like if we talk about or we talk to it and we pray to it and then drinking and internalize it, now we 10xing that power. We 10xing that Ashe. We 10xing, you know what I'm saying, that Ofo Ashe, the spirit, the force, you know what I'm saying, that we put into it from the spirit. And they say what they say, the word in the beginning, you know, it was the word. That's the spirit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's very powerful. When you combine them two, you're putting together a superpower, man, for real. Let me see. Maximum rising. You can go there in the dream state or message. Yeah, big facts. Astral projecting. I'm pretty sure that's what you was talking about. I know I'm probably about 10, 15 minutes behind on the comments, family. So y'all share your boy some grace, man, as I kind of try to work through these things. Let me see. Infinite Supreme Mother. Let me see what Mama got going on. She says, I felt like she was making sure they paid attention. I think the fish was a representation of the dead and how the Ooh. I like that. Yes, sir. Yeah, I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and share this video again for y'all, family. So if you're just getting here or you got here, a little later on, man, we had a dope video that I shared with the tribe about a woman who came up to a couple. I can't even remember what state it was. I had to look it up. But the woman came up to a couple randomly and asked the couple, would y'all like me to take a picture of y'all? And the couple was like, nah, no thanks, we good or whatever. So the woman then turns around and walks into the ocean and disappears. Literally just disappears. So that's how the show started out tonight, talking about the divine feminine and, the world Odu Ifa. Message of the year 2026 is Osai Meiji, which is the Odu of the mothers and the divine feminine. So I want to share this with y'all again, for those who got here a little bit later to see how the sister walks into the water. And then y'all share y'all thoughts with me in the comments.
To us, asks us if she wants us to take a picture of us, and she disappears in the ocean with two dead things hanging from each side of her. I have to stay and watch out. You see out there? Do I show what the wind is, or?
Look, it's shallow.
It ain't
Where deep? She's not even at her ankles. She's far out there.
And she's by herself. It's not really small.
Well, they must know this water. Do you know?
Jeremy. And you don't know the water.
You don't know.
She's standing up.
She's like below her grave on the coast.
Jeremy, is she coming back yet? That was really, really dumb.
It might be the hole.
Jeremy, somebody's trying to jump mermaid. Just wait a minute. What is it? Are you serious, Tim? What does she have in her hand? A dead fish? Did she go under? Jerry, she's gone. Jeremy. Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. Jeremy, she's gone. That was the weirdest thing in the world. Jeremy, I'm videotaping this. No, don't walk in front of my camera.
And there you have it, family. So yeah, if you wasn't here in the beginning of the show and excuse me, you missed the first time when I played it, let me know what you think about it in the chat, family. Because I definitely, first and foremost, man, that perspective. I was just having that conversation too. There's a lot of conversation about perspective and how things can be one way for one person, another way for another. I shared my perspective earlier, but I love Infinite Supreme Mother's perspective on this because I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. She said, I feel like she was making sure that the couple, they paid attention. And I think that the fish was representation of the dead and how the mother will wade in the water to bring them life. That's powerful. That's powerful. And I agree with you, man. Just hearing that from you, it really, it resonates. Even so much when you think about, let's go into the cosmology, right? When you think about the age that we're in. We just transitioned out of, we're in the process, or we transitioning out of the Pisces age into the water bearer, the Aquarius age, right? That's from, cosmology, from the astro. And then you look at the deities, you look at, the goddess of Oya. Like literally, she is the goddess of transformation. She is the change agent. Like she is the winds of transformation, like literally. So it's like, yo, death, rebirth. You know what I'm saying? Death, rebirth. It don't always necessarily have to be like a physical death. It could be a spiritual. It could be psychological. It could be the death of old habits. It could be the death of old atmospheres. It could be death of old environments, death of old relationships, death of, you know what I'm saying, old, you know, old weight, you know what I'm saying, like losing weight, the death of getting rid of that, you know, whatever. Like it's so many different dynamics that transformation, you know, ties into. And so for what we're seeing on the planet right now, I feel like that is a profound, powerful statement in regards to transformation, right? And it's not just one pattern. You know, like I said, before we get out of here, just to kind of summarize and go back to what we was getting into tonight, man, we were talking about the state of the world and all the global events that's going on and how, you know, the Odu of the year for Ifa is Osameji, which is the Odu of the mothers. You know what I mean? The Odu of the Ija, the Iyami, the Yaje, and of Oya. You know what I'm saying? And like it's a very, very powerful Odu and a very, very powerful message in regards to volatility, destruction, chaos, disruption, you know what I'm saying? A lot, blockages, all that. But there's also aspects of the message that's very powerful, you know, of unexpected wealth, of unexpected windfalls, of transformation, you know what I'm saying? Like transitioning from a negative into a positive, of, you know what I mean? Like being able to elevate and level up, and like going from the third to the fourth to the fifth dimension, you know, all those different types of ascension, you know, different types of things all take place. All those dynamics all take place within that Odu. So it's very powerful, man. Very, very powerful. Dr. Tracy, I've been really experiencing nature more lately. I was sitting on my porch and a robin landed about 2 feet away from me. Just listen, hey, listen. I've been having that for a while now too. Fan Tracy, I've been having that a lot too, man. I've shared a lot of mine too, man. I had one, and this was recently. I say maybe 3 weeks ago. I was walking my dog, and it was a hawk. I'm talking about a big hawk, boy. That bad boy. He was probably about, y'all probably, it ain't doing it no justice doing like on camera, but I would say he was taller than those pictures behind me. I can tell you that. The one, the Ivra and the he was, and those I think are 8x10, so they're about 10 inches tall. He was probably at least, shit, he probably about 15, 16 inches tall. It was a big hawk. That joker was big. And it was nuts to me because my dog, I don't have a small dog. He got some size on him. He a pit, but he built like a fullback, man. He's short and stocky, like, you know, he kind of brolic with it or whatever. But so it's like we walking like by the fence and the hawk just sitting there, he just chilling. I mean, he just chilling. He kind of like looked like, what up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo. And he did not move. Like, I was so blown because I see hawks all the time, but I've never been that close to this hawk. I could have literally reached over the fence and touched him like I could touch this desk, bookcase. And it was like, yo, I'd never seen that before. And it was funny because I promise you, we got maybe about, I'll say, maybe about 6 to 8 feet away from him. Like, after we walked past him, and then he just pounce down on the ground. And so what I couldn't see, I guess, the way I took it, it was funny to me. I thought about it after the fact. I started laughing, but the way I took it is he or she had their food down there, like whatever it was they're looking to snatch up, it was down there. So when he saw me and my dog walk by, he's like, that's mine right there, bro. Y'all might find your own food. Like, he really had that energy about him. It was funny to me because I'd never seen that, but I never got that close to a hawk before. But yo, as soon as we walked by, I got about 6 to 8 feet past him, man. That joker plopped down, yeah. And I'm not sure what he got because he snatched it up and shot out. I was like, yo, that's crazy. So it was powerful. So yeah, naturing. Nature is definitely naturing out there, for real, for real. Nature is definitely naturing. Jay, I hope you got the chance to see the video. I just saw your comment. But yeah, appreciate you, Kendra. Seaman is a rank in the Navy. Wow. And so I don't know if I knew that, but that makes sense though. Definitely makes sense. And then Sandra, the power of Mami Wata. Yeah. Man, water ain't no joke. No joke at all. Let me see. Melanin said they absolutely been here, been in space, and has always been below. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the inner earth, inner world. It's funny because I had a tool I was using. I can't remember the name of it. It was a design tool, and I actually made some dope videos and like short little clips and renditions of like being in Atlantis and Agartha, like some of the inner worlds or water worlds and all that. So I'm gonna share some of them and some of the the content I'm working on for a couple other projects that I'm gonna be bringing to the channel, as far as like, you know, just sharing. But it was dope because it was nuts to me is they got rid of that. I cannot think of the name of that doggone app, but they got rid of it. I want to say I was using it through chat. I think it was like a plugin or something for Chat GPT. I can't remember the name, but it was a dope design app or whatever, a bot, whatever you want to call it. And so I got a couple of the designs that I made with it, but they got rid of it for some reason. I think they might have been doing too good with making stuff look too real. Possibly, I don't know. But yeah, water is alive. Emperor Truth, interested. Yeah, man, let me know. Emperor Truth says, if anyone's interested, I could send them a series I created from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, all about mindset, the power of the mind, and the power we possess mentally. Yeah, absolutely, bro. If you can, send me like whatever you have, like if you can send me something, you know, to share or that I could check out or whatever, or, you know, something that you're willing to share with the tribe that, you know, kind of will spark them if they want to tap in, man, you know, because I'm all about promoting. That's another thing we're gonna have one coming up soon too, is like working with other channels, other businesses, other entrepreneurs, you know, to work together collectively, you know, collaboration over competition all day, every day is how we rock around here. That's the Ashe way. Divine God said water was the first element ever created, all element. Facts. Yeah, big facts. Oh yeah. So what y'all think about that with the lady family? Because I'm trying to catch up. I know I'm at least about 15 minutes behind with these comments. Let me see. John Etra says, I think you the two fish you had was so she can change back into a mermaid. Yeah, I don't know. Because I do feel like she definitely had shape-shifting capabilities for sure. To be able to walk onto the land, and clearly I feel like I don't feel like she had the same exact, you know, genetic or biological makeup that we have in order for her to just disappear into the water. She definitely had something else going on for her to be able to survive that. Because that wasn't no suicide to me. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no friction. It wasn't no panic. She was just like, yo, I'm gonna go back to the crib. Like, that's how I took it. It's like about that, you know, one of my friends' house or something, and I'm ready to go home. Like, man, all right, bro, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I'm going to strike out. I'm gonna go back to the crib, man. Like, that's how she walked back into the water to me. I said, what the? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Especially after I just had a conversation about mermaids, not even 12 hours, I don't think, before I saw that video. So yeah, they're not playing out here. Melanin said, absolutely real. Underwater life force exists, just like the mermaids are sisters. I agree with that. I believe that. No lies detected in that response whatsoever. Auntie Energy, I like that name, Auntie Energy. Radiant evening, all divinity. Peace and blessings, peace and power to you, family. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to probably check up out of here in a little bit. Try and see if I can get a couple more of these comments in real quick, because I'll be back tomorrow, and then Friday, and then probably gonna hit one on the weekend too, man, because I got to do this extraterrestrial presentation for y'all, man, because it's a lot bubbling in the extraterrestrial space that we're not going to see on mainstream. So I'm going to make for sure I'll bring it out to the tribe and to the family. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm with you, Tracy. There are more stories coming to light with special beings stepping out from the shadows. Yeah, the veil is very thin, if not gone. And you know, and there's a lot of people seeing a lot of things. People are seeing fairies, people are seeing elves, people are seeing dwarfs. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, we talk about everything here, family. So and we're not playing when we talk about it. But yeah, fairies, elves, dwarves, all those are real. I don't know, you know, anybody that person that I can think of that deals with fairies, but I do know people that deal with dwarfs and elves. Matter of fact, she'll be on Friday. Una works with dwarfs and elves, so I know it's real. So and we'll get into that Friday too. And if you wasn't here for the announcement earlier, family, we will be having Brother B-Dale be back tomorrow night for the next this week's edition of the War Report, and then Wunam will be back Friday night. B-Dale be here tomorrow night. Wunam be here Friday night, and then I'll probably come back solo and do something with y'all over the weekend too, man. Like, so I want to get this extraterrestrial presentation out to y'all, and then Katz says born of water again. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Roger says weeks ago they made a big announcement of gathering the top. Oh yeah. I saw that, Roger. Appreciate you for sharing that, family. Yeah, I saw that. Brother Roger says, weeks ago, they made a big announcement for the gathering of the top religious representation with a message of truth from the terrestrial. Well, I feel like they're huddling up to pretty much push the narrative and the agenda of what the so-called the deletes, what the deletes are pushing. So pretty much all those people that are behind the underground tunnels and the bunkers and the data centers and all that, effery, they're all behind that agenda of what they want to control, what the masses in the mainstream digests or receives in regards to this thing that we talk about with extraterrestrials, which is kind of funny to me, considering all of the teachers and the elders and the masters that I studied under, y'all either murdered, attempted to murder, or incarcerated, or, you know what I'm saying, like literally assassinated their character, whether it was physically, spiritually, financially, you know what I'm saying, like whatever kind of way. But now, for the last maybe 10, 12, 15, 14 years or so, they've been monetizing it with all these documentaries and Ancient Alien series and, all this other stuff, because they was able to figure out a way to get money off of it. Kind of like with marijuana. Like, it was illegal until they figured out how they can get their cut. And then now I'm saying, oh, yeah, y'all can have that because we got our cut now. So it's like, that's what parasites do. They want to, steal legacies and steal identities and portray it and paint it as if it's theirs. And really believe it, too. That's the crazy part. Like, they, for the most part, I feel like they really believe that that they are, what they so-called create themselves to say that they are. That's a different kind of mental illness. It's funny though, but yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. But yeah, I'm with you with that. Melon. Some people are already seeing beyond the ice walls. And there's a lot coming out about that too, because you got a lot of people who are remote viewers, who have been able to get out there and see. And then, they also have. It's nuts, but I don't know if y'all remember them coming up with Space Force a little while ago. I'm not sure how long ago that was, where they created another branch in the military, Space Force. And a lot of people thought it was a joke in a game. But I took it serious because I look at like what this animal or this parasite, is about, and what it feeds off of, and what it needs to survive. And so looking at that from that perspective, from a metaphysical perspective of, what does a parasite need to survive? Right? From a scientific perspective, like, what does a parasite need to survive? Like a flea, for example. A flea has to have like a dog or a cat or a mouse, or, some sort of warm-blooded, like mammalian type of animal in order for it to live on, to keep it warm and to keep, the blood there for it to, consume. So these so-called forces, that's the same thing. They're parasites and they need a host, right? So when you talk about the Space Force, to me, I ain't never did no deep dive, but just what Spirit's given to me, the Space Forces will be the equivalent of them having spiritual enforcers, right? They're not going to put this on Front Street, but that's just the download coming to me. But if you think about it, I know for a fact there's people who, it hasn't happened to me knowingly that I know of, but I know other people who are spiritual or who have astral projected, who have seen these sentinels or these spiritual security guards, to where it's like beings that are in the fourth or fifth dimension or in the higher dimensions or realms of consciousness are there as damn near like some damn security, or, you know what I'm saying, like a military force, to see what you're doing in the astral realm and the, you know what I'm saying, higher realms of consciousness or existence. And they're working for the lower realm, you know what I'm saying, so-called deities that run this realm, you know what I mean? And like they are trying to see what they can see, almost like satellites, how they got satellites in space, like they're trying to do that in the spiritual realm to see who the seers are, who the real, you know what I'm saying, who the real supercells are, you know what I mean? Like who the real ultimate spiritual, or, you know what I mean, cosmic warriors are, so they can try, I guess, to attack first or surveil, whatever the case may be. I feel like that's what a lot of that's about when you talk about this whole all this what's it called, surveillance, right? And that's where I feel like the AI, it has a lot to do with that too, because yeah, we could definitely use it for good, but trust and believe, when you have that level of technology, there's a lot of parasitical, nefarious things it's being used for as well. Let's see. There's such a thing as air dragons, water dragons. Yeah, I believe that. I definitely believe that because I've been seeing a lot more dragon activity too. A lot of things are coming. A lot of things are coming to light, man. Coming to the surface for real, for real. That's a real thing. Definitely a real thing. Yeah. Do have L's Maximum Razor. I don't know. I ain't never worked with no L's, but I know people who have, and I've read about them. I've studied about them. And so shout out to Dr. York, Freedom Master Teacher. He speaks about a lot, like a lot of stuff that I learned, especially from a metaphysical perspective. Like I learned from him, Dr. Blair, Baba Kwedu Matwa. Those probably like, just off the top of my head, those are like my top three when it comes to like metaphysics or anything that has to do with like extraterrestrial or inner earth or, any of those things that would seem or appear as sci-fi, but it's really real. You know what I mean? Like those three were some very powerful teachers and messengers of truth and of light. So I definitely give gratitude and thanks to them, for all that they did for us and for me to even be here doing what I do. Without them, I don't see a lot of us being able to do these live streams, these podcasts, and this type of work. So I definitely give thanks to those who came before us and paved the way. So with that, family, I'm gonna get ready to shut this thing down, man. Because like I said, I'll be back in full force this week. We'll definitely be back tomorrow night with I believe we're going probably go about 9:30. We'll be there for the war report, and then we'll be back with Wunam for the past life like divination readings on air. So if y'all want to find out a little bit about your past life, man, tap in with us Friday with Wunam. We haven't locked in the time yet, but I actually just confirmed with her right before I came on the live that we were going to do it Friday. She said yes, so I'll definitely get that to y'all, family, as in regards to when we're back. Let me see. Fancy Tracy, I appreciate you. The Baju tribe was well known for the hunter. Yeah, that's probably who I was talking about. That's the ones that can hold their breath on the water for like 20, 30 minutes or something like that. That's exactly what I was talking about. I can't remember the name of the tribe, but yeah, it's a real thing. So yeah, we're not alone, family. Never have been, never will be. We have some very, very powerful forces at play. And we are looking at, it's the war of the worlds, man. Like for real, spiritually, cosmologically, astrally in the astral realms, and on the planet, internally, you know what I mean, on all levels. So we gotta level up, you know what I mean? Keep our energy, keep our ashe, keep our frequency up, keep our spirit up, the positivity up. I'm not sure if the brother is still on here, the one that said he felt like sometimes he doesn't have power. I can't remember what the exact comment was, but bro, you got the power, and tell yourself you got the power. You know what I'm saying? And for real, I mean that. But start in the mirror. Like they say it's hard for a broken person to look at themselves, right? Or a broken, society or culture or whatever, if something's been broken. But I disagree because I'm gonna tell you like this: if you look at the last 400 to 500, 600 years of melanated folks on this particular landmass, about an attempt for something or someone to be broken, nah, you ain't break us. We just getting started. You feel me? Like we been here, and we're gonna always be here. And you can't break what the God created. Feel me? Like it just ain't gonna happen. So it's like if you ain't the creator, you can't break us. So look at yourself in the mirror, family, and tell yourself how powerful you are, because you are. And so with that, tribe, I'm gonna look at y'all and tell y'all how powerful y'all are and how much I appreciate y'all. And without further ado, I am because we are, and because we are, I am. So I definitely appreciate you all, family. And yeah, man, I'll see y'all back tomorrow night. Appreciate those comments, family. Appreciate it. And yeah, so we'll see y'all tomorrow night, family. And like I said, we got a lot more coming. As I get it rolling out, I'll definitely be sharing all the links and all that. Before I close out though, let me share this real quick too, because I did say it earlier. I meant to do it. So let me share this. So if you are in the Tampa, Central Florida area, family, come through. Let me see. Where the hell's my flyer? Oh, man, let me see. I'm trying a different way. Let me just fly out real quick, family. I don't know why this platform, certain files they want you to have it a certain way before you can upload it. So I appreciate that, the Rockable Cyrus. Yes, sir. Hey, family said, don't disrespect the house. Hit that like button for real, for real. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, hit that like and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing to hit that subscribe button, family. It's free. And I definitely appreciate every single one of y'all. But yeah, this is it right here, family. So the 20th is going down, the King's Mini Gathering. It's going to be June 20th, and I think we're starting at like 5:30. And I'll definitely share the links to the event, the Eventbrite. And if you want to grab a ticket, if you're in the area, man, come through. We definitely will have a very powerful experience for the brothers, man. Juneteenth weekend, as far as and also Father's Day weekend, man. We're celebrating the divine feminine. So with that, we always celebrating the mamas as we should. But I hear a lot of brothers saying that we don't ever give enough or get enough, you know what I'm saying, or we don't support each other enough, or we're not there for each other enough. So I want to make sure that we work to change that narrative and to make that shift happen. So shout out to Zimmy Locks, the host, who is bringing me in to collaborate with, to co-host with this phenomenal event, man, for the pouring into and the building of the divine masculine energy for this Father's Day 2026. So if you're in the area, family, tap in with us, and I definitely continue to be sharing more information and details for the event in the show description and the comments. So with that, family, appreciate y'all, man. I definitely see y'all tomorrow night. We are out. Peace.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́. Forsake not your ancestors and pray.